Oh, Natasha, sometimes I get so mad. But in the paper, it must be true.
Well, it was a big day for Wasamatta U when the Chancellor said,
Many colleges are de-emphasizing football. Wasamatta will re-emphasize it.
one of the college's first acts was to sign up the Frostbite Falls Flash Bullwinkle Moose, who, aided by Rocky the Flying Squirrel, proceeded to decimate the opposition.
No, we just beat the other team.
That's what the man said.
Well, why don't he say what he says?
But it looked like breakers ahead for Wasamatta, for in a carefully guided hideout, Boris Badanov's Mud City Manglers were hard at work. They were a dreadful band of thugs and killers, coached by our old nemesis, Fearless Leader, and even he had to use a whip and a chair.
All right, we'll try number 17.
1, 2, 3. Ooh.
Uh-oh. Strangler fumbled the ball again.
Yeah, I bet the coach gives him a light reprimand.
No, I bet he gives him a severe reprimand. You were right. It was just a light reprimand.
Yes, with a team of hired goons and criminals, Fearless Leader was at his best, or worst.
I want all of you men to read this sign I'm posting in the locker room.
Play carefully. The life you save may be your own.
But of course, being villains had certain advantages, too.
Achtung! Tackle practice. I want you to tackle that dummy as if it were a Wasamatta U run-up. Go! Terrible. Awful.
Fearless Leader, all the sand is running out of the tackling dummy.
All right, which one of you stabbed the tackling dummy in the back?
It was me.
You stabbed a defenseless dummy in the back?
Yeah, what of it?
Well, congratulations, my boy. You're my kind of folks. From now on, you're captain of the team.
That's the way to talk, Coach.
When I want your approval, I'll ask for it.
Yes, Fearless Leader.
All right, I'm asking.
Hooray!
Meanwhile, in the Chancellor's office at Wasamatta U...
Hey, you guys.
Yes, Coach Canute.
I got a letter here from a team I never heard of, challenging us to a game. What's the team? The Mud City Manglers.
Mud City?
Oh,
no.
No.
They'll pay us $1,000.
It's a deal. And so in a short while, the wire services were buzzing with the news.
Mud City? Never heard of them.
Here's the picture of the team.
How do they look?
They sure got funny-looking helmets on.
Helmets, nothing. That's hair. Bullwinkle, those are girls.
Yes, to drive the odds even higher, the wily Boris had dressed his entire team in curly wigs and midi blouses.
Bullwinkle, this is terrible.
It is?
What kind of game can you play with girls?
Boy, this really is a children's show, isn't it? Parcheesi, of course.
The photograph caused a sensation.
Girls Challenge Nation's #1 team.
Debutants to tackle Juggernaut.
Little did the press of the nation know that the Mud City Manglers were a vicious gang of thieves, blackguards, and unspeakable Turks.
All right, girls, and I use the term loosely, time to check your equipment. Shoulder pads?
Check.
Spike shoes?
Check.
Poison for spikes?
Check.
Switchblade knives?
Check.
Brass knuckles?
Check.
Hand grenades?
Check.
Then we're ready. Just remember one thing.
Yes.
I want you to behave like ladies.
Well, these are shady ladies indeed, and we'll see their fiendish plot unfold next time in Mail Bags or Homely Are the Brave.
There was once a handsome young prince named John, and where one finds a handsome young prince, one is most certain to find a beautiful young princess. Her name was Tinsel, and they were very much in love.
I love you, John.
I love you, Tinsel.
They were never happy unless they were together.
Oh, I'm so unhappy.
Peekaboo, guess whom?
Oh, no, I'm happy.
Day after day, they went out hunting or fishing. Night after night, they went to balls or the funny house at the beach. They sang and danced and ate sugar plums out of the same dish. They shared delicate secrets together.
How much money do you have?
Oh, 100 million grinkles. You know, give or take 1,000 or so.
Vavavoom, that's a lot of grinkles.
You can say that again.
Vavavoom, that's a lot of grinkles.
Then finally, as everyone knew they would, they were married. And they moved into a beautiful white castle high on a green hill. They were so full of joy that everybody called it the Happy House.
I'm so happy.
That is, everybody but one, an evil old witch named Grumpyra, who hated happiness.
It's disgusting. I'll put a stop to it if it's the last thing I do.
Then, taking a basket of poison apples, she hurried off to the castle.
Who is it, dear?
That's an old hag with mussed up hair selling apples.
Apples?
Yes, you know. The poison kind that you take a bite of and they put you to sleep for 1,000,000 years.
No, well, tell her we don't want any.
We don't want any.
With that, the witch was roughly thrown from the castle. And once again, happiness echoed from within. By now, Grumpyra was near the breaking point. Storming back to her cave, she took a huge black kettle and set herself to the task of concocting a mysterious, evil-smelling brew.
Now, where did I put the gruffy dust? Oh, yes, here it is. A pinch of this and a pinch of that. A dewy button and a French fried bat. Oh, all these witches' brews are murder, but what are you going to do?
A short time later, she had finished and hurried off to the castle where she stole into the garden and sprayed every rose with the strange mixture.
It's done. Now, when the princess comes into the garden to pick roses...
Oh, the garden is beautiful today. I shall pick some roses for my prince.
She will prick her finger...
Ouch!
...and turn into an ogre.
And when the beautiful young princess, who was now an ugly old ogre, went into the castle...
Hello, dear. Wearing your hair a little differently, aren't you?
It's worse than that. I turned into an ogre.
A closer look told the prince that what she said was true, and this made him very unhappy. The old witch's plan had worked, for the castle was now the saddest place on earth. Now the story would have ended right there, but for one thing. Ogres love to cook, and that night, when John's ogre wife set his evening meal in front of him, it was the most magnificent food he had ever tasted.
Dear, it. That was the best meal I ever had.
So pleased was the wife by the compliment that she went right back into the kitchen and cooked some more. And before long, being so full of fine food made the prince happy. This, of course, made the ogre happy, and once again, happiness rang from the castle. Grumpyra, of course, wasted no time in flying back to the castle to see what had gone wrong.
Say, laughing boy, how can you possibly be happy with an ogre for a wife?
Well, it's the food it cooks. Have a bite?
Say, that is tasty.
Join me?
Love to?
They both dug in and ate all John's ogre wife could cook, and she cooked all they could eat. The food was so good that even Grumpyra, for the first time in her life, was happy.
You know, she's such a good cook that I could kiss her.
Oh, no, you must never do that, boy.
All right, but why not?
Because if a handsome prince kisses her, it will break the spell, and she will turn back into a beautiful princess who can't cook for sour apples.
Gee, I'm glad you told me.
As a precaution against ever kissing the ogre by mistake, the prince let his beard grow and wore a gag over his mouth whenever he wasn't eating. Things were well and happy for a score of years until one day when John's ogre wife was giving some scraps to their pet dog, he affectionately licked her face and she instantly turned back into the beautiful princess.
What happened?
The dog kissed her.
You don't mean...
I'm afraid so. His name is Prince.
That meant an end to the good cooking, and the prince and the witch were frantic.
Doesn't it make you happy that I'm beautiful again, John?
Quiet. Do you remember what you did?
I think so. Come on.
Now, having an ogre for a wife has its drawbacks, but John was happy that way, and very soon thereafter...
A pinch of this, a pinch of that, a dewy button, and a French fried bat.
John was to be very happy once again.
My baby's talking. I love you, Mommy. Talking baby of mine. You say things so lovingly. Yum, that's good. I'm so hungry, Mommy. Talking to go potty. Good girl. Talking baby alive. All done now. You're potty trained and talking to I love you.
Talking Baby Alive really talks, eats, drinks, and goes potty. Each sold separately, batteries not included.
Put some into your Saturday night.
At the Roundhouse.
The non-stop hip-hop place to snick. Roundhouse Saturday nights on Snick.
Yo, class, zip those lips fast. In today's lesson, I'm addressing the 2 laws of new Cheetos brand paws. 1, paws are made for way cool fun. Kate, please demonstrate. Totally awesome. Dig Nick and his hip trick. Now let's review law 2. Only kid-sized claws can seize new paws. The cheese that goes... crunch.
Hello out there, Peabody and Sherman here. Anyone for Tennyson?
Who's Tennyson, Mr. Peabody?
The brilliant poet who wrote The Charge of the Light Brigade.
Are we going to visit Mr. Tennyson today?
Well, no, I thought we'd visit the Light Brigade. We set the way back for Balaclava, a small port in the Crimea, in the year 1854. At that time, the Russian army had the British forces under heavy siege. We arrived on the scene just as Lord Cardigan, sitting astride his magnificent British horse, raised his sword to signal the advance.
Oh, boy, Mr. Peabody, we're just in time to see the Light Brigade charge.
You are laboring under a misapprehension, Sherman, for if you'll notice, the brigade is lighter than usual.
You're right, Mr. Peabody. The horses are there, but there's nobody on them.
It was imperative that Lord Cardigan be informed of this fact.
Brigadiers!
Stop!
Stop! What do you mean, stop out of the way? We're going to charge.
If you charge, your lordship, you'll be charging alone. A quick glance to the rear told the story.
Good Lord, they've done it again.
Done what again? Where are they?
They've all taken weekend leave for a month.
But someone's got to get them back here.
That is an impossible task.
Not for Mr. Peabody, it isn't.
Sherman's well-founded hero worship of me had done it again.
Here is a list showing where each man is spending his leave.
How many men are there?
6.
I thought there were 600.
Oh, no, there's only 6. That's why it was called the Light Brigade. The first 2 men on the list were Private Higginbottom and Corporal McChesney, and they had a weakness for Chinese food. The nearest Chinese restaurant, of course, was in Hong Kong, and that's where we found them, inside Ed Fu Young's chop suey.
You've got to get back to the post immediately.
Can't do it, lady.
No, we got 15 more courses of food coming, and we ain't going to leave till we get some.
15 more courses? That'll take forever, Mr. Peabody.
No, it won't. Hand me that fortune cookie. I inserted a substitute fortune into the cookie, and when it was opened...
The food has been poisoned. Signed, a friend.
God, blimey. We better get back to the blinking post and have our stomachs pumped.
That takes care of numbers 1 and 2. Next, Sergeant Clappingstone.
Where's he?
The city of Sebastopol, in, of all things, a circus. It seemed the good sergeant came from a family of circus performers, and in his off time, he picked up a few extra rubles as a human cannonball.
There he is now, Mr. Peabody, climbing into the mouth of that cannon.
Excellent. He'll be back at the post in no time. All I had to do was charge the cannon with a little extra gunpowder, aim it in the direction of Balaclava, and the departure came off right on schedule. The next 2 names on the list were Lieutenant Faversham and Captain Trippingwell. We came across them on a tennis court in Rangoon, India. If they're that engrossed in the game, we'll get them back without their even knowing it. I took one end of the net, Sherman took the other, and we headed for the railway terminal with the match still in progress. I'm sure the citizens of India had never seen the 5:15 for Balaclava depart with a tennis match high atop the caboose.
Only one more to go, Mr. Peabody.
Yes, but that last one was a dilly. He was Colonel Fotheringay, or should I say Patient Fotheringay, for it was in a hospital in Odessa that we found him.
You'll have to be very quiet. The colonel has been stricken with severe pains in the chest. He can't be moved under any condition.
Mind if I see the x-rays?
Not at all. Here.
Close examination revealed something that only my keen eye detected. I can have him on his feet in 30 seconds. Prepare the operating room immediately.
But, Mr. Peabody, you're not going to operate, are you?
Sherman, by now you should know that I am one of the smoothest operators there is. Scissors, please. There, it's done.
Amazing, sir! Amazing! The pain is gone. What did you do?
I simply removed the metal from your tunic. Whoever pinned it on pinned it rather deeply.
By Jove! I feel so good I shall return to the post immediately.
Thus it was that all the men were present and accounted for when it came time for the Light Brigade to charge.
Brigadiers! Charge!
Oh, how thrilling, Mr. Peabody.
Not only thrilling, it helped end the war in the Crimea.
And the British became their friends?
Well, not exactly. You see, following the war, the Crimeans borrowed a large sum of money from the British.
Don't tell me they didn't pay them back.
Well, that goes without saying, Sherman. Everybody knows that Crimea doesn't pay.
Hats off to you, to thy colors, ochre and Alice blue. We will e'er be faithful and true. Hail, what's the matter, hail? Better we should be in jail. Hey, what's the matter, you?
The stirring strains of the college fight song herald the big game between Wasamatta U and Boris Badanov's Mud City Manglers.
But gee, Rock, the Mud City Manglers are girls.
They look awful big for girls.
I guess football doesn't appeal to the petite ones.
And on the way to the football field, Boris and Natasha dashed into an illegal betting parlor.
Okay, Manny, what's the odds on the big conflict?
World War III, 6-5 and pick'em.
No, the Wasamatta game.
Oh, an unbeaten team playing a bunch of girls? 500 to 1 on Wasamatta.
I'll just take me some of that. I'll bet all this on Mud City.
And I'll bet all this.
Fearless leader, where did you get all the loot?
Bad enough, that is the entire contents of the Pottsylvania Treasury.
You carry the treasury wherever you go?
You don't think I'd leave it with those crooks in my government, do you?
Who says you can't take it with you?
All right, boys, you got a bet, but you're throwing your money away.
Who says?
I hope he's wrong, and you're right, Badenoff.
Oh, I am.
Because there's something else I always carry around with me.
A cheery smile?
No, my own firing one.
Oh, boy. Natasha, we really got to make sure of this one.
But, darling, we already got fiendish plans.
We can't take chances. This time our fiendish plan will have a fiendish plan.
And back in our hero's dormitory room...
Come on, Bullwinkle, it's time we left for the game.
Just a sec, Rock. I'm still studying these new plays.
Why? The only play you know is the forward pass. Besides, you're not the quarterback.
No, I'm the all-back.
Fullback.
Yeah.
Oh, if our boys only knew, for at that moment, the Wasamatta quarterback, Bob Waterbucket, was receiving a caller.
I don't wear a collar. My neck's too big.
Not a collar, a caller.
Oh.
Emergency telegram for Bob Waterbucket.
That's me.
Well, read it.
It's got long words in it.
Ooh. Oh, very well. It says your aunt in Azuzi fell down and broke her crown. You should rush right out there.
But I can't. I gotta call the big game.
In that case, here's another telegram. The president has just declared a national emergency. You're drafted.
I'll get a deferment. I gotta call the big game.
Oh, boy. In that case, here's my third and last emergency telegram.
Nothing can stop me from calling that game.
It's from a professional football team. They want to hire you for... You're not going to call the game?
Sure, I'm calling it off.
As a result of Waterbucket's sudden departure, Coach Rocky Canute had a tough decision to make.
Okay, Moose, you're quarterback.
Boo!
Oh, come on, fellas. Even the Moose should be able to beat a team of schoolgirls.
But as we know, the Mud City Manglers are only disguised as girls. Actually, they're a tough bunch of thugs and plug uglies.
But, Boris, suppose the Moose remembers all the plays.
What plays? I got the only other copy of the diagrams here.
Then what was Moose studying?
The diagrams I substituted for them.
Which were?
For 3 weeks, the Moose has been studying battle plans for the Civil War.
Well, it looks as if the South may rise again. Don't miss Mine Eyes Have Seen the Gory or Mooses in the Cold, Cold Ground.
Hang tight. Nickelodeon's Moose-a-Rama will be right back. This Mega Nicktoon Monday, we're giving you a 5-hour-long mega jolt of Nick's most fearless bunch of babies. It's Rugrats on Mega Nicktoon Monday, this Monday on Nick.
Is this thing on?
Here, I'll show you. See, let me see.
I love video scavenger hunts.
Spotted Dog, Rock Group.
Rock group? Hi, Mom. I don't see geek on it.
Is McDonald's on there? Let's roll. For star.
Spotted Dog, Twins, Moving Van, Group Headstand. Got it.
Twins? Oh, I always see twins. At McDonald's.
Oh. Spotted Dog. Moving Van.
I always see moving vans at McDonald's. Come on.
It's moving. It's a van. It counts.
Let's check it out.
Hey, a rock group. Works for me. What's next? Red convertible?
Skycam. What are you doing on it? Get down. I always see red convertible.
At McDonald's.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, we're doing great. I'm doing great.
Look, twins.
Not anymore.
Still need a man in uniform.
Hey, whoa. Hey, man in uniform. I knew we'd find everything at McDonald's.
But why don't you say something?
Access Hershey's Chocolaties. Hershey's. Placid. Milk it. Squeeze it. Stir it. Sip it.
Love it.
Hershey's. Now that's Chocolaties.
You are in the O-Zone. And now back to Nickelodeon's Moose-a-Rama.
And here he is, the Dean of American Numbskulls, Mr. Know-It-All.
Our lecture today is entitled How to Own a Hi-Fi on a Low Income and IQ. First, you should choose a hi-fi cabinet to match your furniture. Early American, French provincial, or, like my own furniture, early junkyard. Next, we have a few of our components. This is the amplifier, which amplifies the sound. Here is the preamplifier, which, of course, amplifies the pre. And the turntable, which turns the tables. Over here, we see the speakers, known to all of us hi-fi matics as the tweeter and the woofer. Special care must be taken to feed the woofer lest he eat the tweeter. The next step is to plug it in. And the next step is to call the electrician. The hi-fi gives us lovely music, but did you know that you can tell time with it too?
Shutting that thing off, it's 2 a.m.
Thank you. Now I'd like to play some tapes for you.
A Roman in the gloaming on the bonny banks of Clyde.
Must have put some Scotch tape on by mistake. But here's my real favorite. Sing along with Lawrence Elk. A do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I bring my favorite tape, Bullwinkle.
Be my guest. Put it on.
Is adhesive tape.
Well, thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's no turning back now. There really is going to be a game between the Mud City Manglers and the Wassamata U Pigeons.
What's more, Bullwinkle is now our quarterback.
And what's more, these are the diagrams of the plays we're gonna play.
And what's more, they're the wrong diagrams.
Yes, Boris had switched diagrams, and the hapless moose was now going over a set of battle plans of the Civil War.
Or as we call it, the war between the states.
Now, wait a minute. Who are you?
Colonel Jefferson Beauregard Lee, sir.
Yeah, but you're not part of our story.
No, I'm from the League of Confederate Correctors.
The League of Confederate Correctors?
Every time a program refers to the late unpleasantness as a Civil War.
You show up and correct them?
That's right, Shug. We call it the war between the states.
Yeah, but...
I just can't abide the word civil.
Meanwhile, in the locker room of the Mud City Manglers...
Remember, if any of your opponents walks off the field under his own power, it means 20 lashes. All right, men, and I use the term loosely, take the field.
The teams lined up, and Wassamata kicked to the Manglers. Instantly, there was a huddle, and when it broke up, nobody appeared to have the ball.
Who we supposed to tackle?
Come on, which of you girls has the ball?
What do you think I am, a rat? You got it, lady.
And before the astonished crowd, the Manglers strolled innocently down the field past the baffled Wasamata players. Then as they reached the goal line, one of the scoundrels pulled the deflated ball from under his midi-blouse.
Touchdown!
Touchdown!
Any objections, wise guy?
Miss, I'll thank you to keep a civil tongue in your head.
A war between the states, tongue.
Oh, boy.
Now, wait, Mr. Referee. Did that really count 6 points?
But of course not, Rocky. Ooh, it counted 7 points.
Well, with the referee intimidated, the Manglers had it all their own way.
Hup! Pass it, Bullwinkle! Ollie!
Oop! Incomplete, incomplete.
The pass?
The ball.
Are yous ready, Gertrude?
Let's have it, Sybil.
War between
I said Sybil, not civil.
Sorry, ma'am.
Play the game, play the game.
It was easier said than done.
We're close enough to try a little field goal, Bullwinkle. Just kick it between the goalposts.
Right, Rock. Hup!
The kick looked good until 2 Manglers moved the goalposts.
At this rate, we'll never win.
We'll be lucky to lose.
But on the next play...
Bullwinkle, look at this.
Good heavens, Rock. You've scalped the scatback.
Scalp nothing. This is a wig. Bullwinkle, they aren't girls at all.
Oh, darn.
What's the matter?
I was going to ask the halfback to the prom tonight.
Well, anyway, it's our ball.
Yeah, but look at that defensive line.
Hokey smoke, they've dug trenches.
And they've all got guns.
Mr. Referee, how about calling a penalty?
Oh, I will, Rocky. 5 yards against Wasamata for delaying the game.
Don't you have any courage?
Yes, but I've also got a wife and kiddies.
And with the score 7-0, the hands of the clock crept closer to defeat for our boys and triumph for Boris Badenov. Don't miss our next episode, Bullwinkle's Battle Plans, or Civil
War between the states defense.
That is not funny.
I know. I can't abide jokes, neither.
And now Maxwell Smart on the importance of safety.
Just what is it you want me to say?
Say how sometimes it's safer to be chicken.
Well, I'm not a chicken. I'm a secret agent.
Right. Get Smart is next on Nick at Night. Stay tuned.
Friend to man and beast, a hero at the least. Funny, Doug Funny. Sunday at 10, 9 Central on Nickelodeon.
Little Pete wants real bad. So this Sunday, Nickelodeon lights the fuse on the ultimate